not counting yesterday because I was going through a lot. I'm just glad because like there's 600 people already and I only said 5 words. There's a lot of things that happened. There's a lot of things that went on, like on Ghost Nation. People said a lot of things about me. Unfortunately, I couldn't say a lot about a lot of things. As I promised, I'm live. And as I promised, I'm gonna be on space, Twitter space. I know you guys have questions. I'm gonna allow at least like 5 people to be on the live. At least I want to buy 5. But then I will tell you one thing. On Twitter space, I will allow as much as I can. Ukuthi nibe on live. Nibe like nibuze any question you have. But I just want to say one thing. Sometimes you just can't do anything about things that are happening. Because what can you do if things that are happening in your life revolve around the people you love? You understand what I'm saying? A lot of people are asking me a lot of questions. I'm going to answer your questions directly, Gucci space. But right now on this live, I just want you to understand one thing. I invested almost like 80% of the money that I got, 80% of the love that I got, 80% of my strength to... Who is this? Sorry, can I just check out my thing?
Stick to the script.
$80 to the love that I got to the show. Sorry about that. I want you to know one. We have to wait. Okay, I just want everybody to know one thing. Just one thing about this. Actually, 3 things. I invested in the show. It's bad. I invested in the show. I invested seriously. I invested in the music that I'm making. So anybody that knows me knows that I love my music. I love Ghost Nation, and I love everybody around me, and also my tattoos. I'm gonna answer your questions on Twitter Space. I bought a container for the shop, which that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest loss that I had before I went to Big Brother. So obviously I had to put like some 80,000 on that, a lot of money. I know you have questions about that, but I bought all the equipments. I was just working on it because I wanted it to be bigger than it, better than it was. The tattoo shop has to be bigger. It keeps doing. Is it fine, AQ?
It's doing good.
Are you good?
Which one is it connected to?
Yeah. So like I invested everything in the shop because like the biggest loss was like me losing my mother and losing the shop that we invested in. So I invested a lot in the show. And I know you have questions. You have questions about that. So I'm gonna answer everything in the Twitter space. But I want you to know this. Nothing that you think that I'm not doing, that I'm not doing. But I want you to also know that I'm only human. That's why I posted. There are some things that you can't physically do. I can do anything, trust me. I can walk a distance. I stood for 13 hours. 13 hours. I can even go for more than that. I can climb a mountain, but there are things that you can't physically do because they hurt people physically. Do you understand? But anything I had to do physically, I did. And where I was lacking, there's a lot of people who personally helped me out. Do you understand? So the tattoo shop is coming. There's a lot of questions about tattoos. No, I don't have a filter. To those who are asking, there's no filter. I can put a filter. There's no filter. It's just good lighting and a good place. This is Q's place. It's my brother's place. He's always been there. Q is one of the niggas that allowed me in his house before I even went to the show when we had nothing and nothing. So I will always appreciate the nigga. Gimmick is always that's why people are asking, why do I have gimmick? Gimmick has always been there for me, mixing, mastering, and never doubted anything I did and never was tired. I invested a lot in music. I would be sleeping and a beat will wake me up because he's working all the time. And he never asked me any questions, but he's working. He's my brother there. I have a lot of people I'm doing music with. There's Banco, 30 a lot of people I'm doing music with. You must understand that there are tattoos. I got people who are doing tattoos with me, who've been there for tattoos with me. They also depend on me. So I bought a container, bought beds, bought machines and everything. But I want the tattoo to be bigger and better than it was. So that when you see it, you can know that I invest in my art. Obviously, there's a lot of things I did. I dropped a lot of music, which I spent a lot of days not sleeping, just dropping the music. There's a show, the Themba show. You must understand that I invested in the show. The money that I got from the show, I invested in the show. I know a lot of people have a lot of questions about that. We will sort it out and I will answer your questions in the Twitter space. But just know that Themba Broly is not sleeping. Themba Broly is investing in the music and the art. If you know me, you know I love my art. I invested in my art. I make sure with everything I did. Like Magozago art, I don't take chances. If you were watching in Big Brother, you know that. So I invested a lot in art, which music is number one. I love music. I love my kids. I love my family. And I cannot speak about the other person. If you have a question about my relationship, please don't ask that question. I don't want to answer it. If you want to be angry, but God bless you. I love you. But I cannot say anything. There's a life involved. There are people involved. I'll tell you one thing. Last year, this time, I was at the back of my room doing my tattoos because my shop was bent. Now I'm here. I'm really happy and I appreciate everybody who's been supporting me.